What's going on, guys? My name is Regional Manager, and today I'm going to be bringing you another installment of my alt account options series. Today we're going to be taking a look at two of the most popular and profitable alt account options you can make on old school RuneScape in 2022. But before we get started, I'm going to be proud to say that we will be giving away 4 bonds to 4 lucky subscribers on this video. All you have to do to enter is make sure you are subscribed to the channel, give this video a like, and drop a comment down below with your in-game username, as well as what alt account option you personally like the most. You will have up to 1 week, that is right, 7 days after this video is posted to enter for your chance to win a nice 7 million GP or 14 days free membership. The winning comments will be pinned at the top of the comment section after the 7 days, and I will message you in-game to give you your beautiful bond. So make sure you have my main account, Regional Manager, added in-game so I can message you when you're online. But without further ado, let's get into the first method of today's video. Say hello to my alt account, Assistant to the. Now, the first alt account option we will be exploring today is going to be a Vyrewatch Sentinel alt. The must-have requirements for this build is going to be the Sins of the Father quest, as well as all subquest and required skills, respectively. Additionally, my personal recommended requirements are also going to be the Slug Menace quest for the ability to use the Proselyte armor, as well as 70 to 75 base melee stats and 70 prayer for the Piety prayer. As a Vyrewatch, we're going to be killing our level 151, and the quest bosses you have to kill are fairly difficult as well to get to this point. Now, these are my current stats on my alt account. As you can see, we are not a fully maxed account, nor will you need a fully maxed combat account to start both of today's methods. Although the higher levels you have, the more effective and profitable these methods will become. Now, for my gear setup, I am going to be using close to the best in slot for the AFK and prayer method. I am going to be using the Proselyte armor, as well as Primordial boots, the Amulet of Torture, and obviously the must-have weapon, the Blisterwood flail, that you will receive as a reward from the Sins of the Father quest. For my quick prayers, I am going to have Protect from Melee, Piety, and Preserve activated. We won't be using any prayer potions, as there is an altar in Darkmire where you're going to be killing these things that you can actually restore your prayer with. One of the only things that you're going to have to spend money on to begin with is going to be super combat potions. You don't need these. You can certainly use regular supersets, or you don't really need potions at all. I would recommend, however, to use at least supersets, and if you have the extra cash, just spend a little bit of money and use super combat potions. Now, the other thing you're going to need in your inventory is the Vyre outfit, because we do want to put this on in order to get to a nice spot to lure all of the Vyrewatch to us. Once we are in that spot, I'll go ahead and show you guys. We will switch over to our Proselyte prayer armor. You will immediately become aggressive, and you won't actually lose aggression the entire time as long as you are not wearing the full Vyrewatch outfit. The other thing I would recommend having is a rune pouch, as you are going to get a couple rune drops, and it's nice to be able to stay there for a long period of time, as well as having runes for the high alchemy spell in your inventory so that you can high alch any of the valuable rune items that you will be getting as drops, as well as the adamant. An extra bonus is an herb sack you can have for any of the grimy herbs that you're going to be getting, and also you're obviously going to need your Dracon's medallion for the teleport to Darkmire and a nice teleport out so that you can go restore your stats when you are full of inventory and re-gear. Now, once you have your gear set up, go ahead and wield your Vyrewatch outfit. Use your Dracon's medallion to teleport to Darkmire, where we will find the first star of today's video. Up north, you will see a big group of Vyrewatch Sentinels, and I'm sure on most worlds, you are going to run into quite a few other people doing this exact same method, as it is very profitable to have on the side. Once you find yourself a free world, I would say any more than 2 people per world is going to be too much, in my opinion. So as long as there's only one other person on the world, go ahead and find yourself a nice spot, put on your protection prayers, and switch over to your gear. As you can see, immediately the Vyrewatch Sentinels do become aggressive. Turn on your auto retaliate, drink a dose of super combat potion, and sit back and relax. Now let's talk some numbers, as I'm sure you're all wondering how much money will you average doing this method. With current GE prices as of November 2022, you can expect up to 660k GP per hour averaged out from all the drops on the Sentinel's drop tables. As an added bonus, you'll also expect your combat XP per hour to range from 55 to 75,000 XP per hour, which honestly is not too shabby. Pictured on screen is some of the loot that you can expect to see during your alting. You can see the loot ranges with alchables, runes, noted resources, and of course the one big ticket item that everyone wants to see, the blood shard. With current GE prices sitting at a comfortable 6.8 million GP. And just to give you a little sneak peek of what could be awaiting you on your new alt account, take a look at what I managed to snag just while AFKing during the editing of this video. And just like that, in little less than 1 hour of doing Vyrewatch Sentinels for the video, we managed to pull a beautiful blood shard, which is the coveted item that you were on the search for while doing this method. It is currently at a 6.7 million GP price tag, so in less than an hour, we have averaged about 6.8 million GP. Now, all in all, I would say there's a great return on the investment of time to make this account. So if you do decide to give this one a try, be sure to let me know down in the comments. The second option for today's episode is going to be a Skeletal Wyvern alt. The only must-have requirements for this build is going to be 72 Slayer. While this definitely might be less daunting overall as a must-have, 72 Slayer is still a notable amount of time to invest into an account. Additionally, my personal recommended requirements are also going to be 75 base melee stats with at least 78 attack for the Dragon Hunter Lance. You're going to want 70 prayer again for piety and at least having started Fairy Tale Part 2 to unlock the ability to use fairy rings, as this will greatly increase your total kills per hour. For my gear setup, I'm going to be using some of the fairly expensive items, as I personally want to show you a more expensive buy-in for the second alt account option. With this high buy-in, there is of course going to be a higher return per hour. However, that being said, you can definitely do this method with less expensive gear. I do have a set of bandos with primordials, the Dragon Hunter Lance, which is the star of this show, and a Dragon Fire Shield. Alternatively, you can use an Ancient Wyvern Shield, which does negate the freezing effect of the Wyvern special attack. The melee bonuses and defense bonuses are not going to be quite as good as the Dragon Fire Shield, which, this being an alt account, I'm going to opt for the little bit more defense, especially with the bandos on the body. We are also rocking an Amulet of Torture, and then in the ring slot, instead of a Berserker Ring imbued, we are going to run with the Slayer Ring. And I'm using a Slayer Ring is so we can utilize it to teleport to a Fairy Ring. Alternatively, if you do have a Quest Cape, you can use that method, or if you have a high enough construction and farming level, you can also use a Fairy Ring inside of your player-owned house. Some key points to remember are, if you are using a Dragon Hunter Lance, Skeletal Wyverns are weak to Crush, so make sure you switch that bad boy over to Pound. And lastly, for the inventory setup, we're going semi-similar to the last one. We are continuing to bring the herb stack, as Wyverns do have a higher chance of dropping herbs, as well as some alchable runes, a teleport out, a Drayman staff if you still need it and don't have a diary done, and some medium to high healing food, as well as prayer potions and a divine super combat potion. I opted for cooked Karambuan, as they are only 400 GP each and do heal a pretty decent amount. Something else to note is, alternatively, there is a safe spottable method using range or mage. However, I personally will not be showing you those methods, as I feel the most effective does sit in the melee option. So to get there, we're going to start by teleporting to the Relica Slayer Cave, utilizing the Fairy Ring outside of said cave. We're going to go Fairy Ring code AIQ, which is going to get us to Mudskipper Point, just south of the entrance of the Skeletal Wyvern dungeon. Run just a bit north and climb down the trapdoor on top of this little hill. Once inside the cave, we're going to go ahead and open up the map. You're just going to run slightly north and then all the way east, and we're going to go straight in here. If you do have the agility level for the shortcut, you can just cut through right here. However, on my alt account, I personally do not have agility that high. I'd be willing to wager some of you are also not going to be investing time into agility on your alt accounts. Once you make your way into the icy cavern, you're going to turn on Protect from Range and Piety. Find yourself an empty spot, drink your potions, sit back, and relax. Now for one of my favorite parts, the numbers once again. With current GE prices, you can expect up to 790,000 GP per hour with this melee method. Again, as an added bonus, you can also expect anywhere from 40 to 55,000 XP per hour in your melee stats as well. With this method not having a big ticket item such as the blood shard with the previous option, your kills per hour are greatly going to affect your total money making ability. This is of course ignoring the elusive Draconic Visage priced at 3 mil but with the high rate of 1 in 10,000. That being said, the Skeletal Wyvern drop table is commonly known for being fairly diverse and rich with things such as high-level herb seeds, alkables, noted resources, and of course the guaranteed Wyvern bone drops. Again, I do feel this method also holds quite a good return on the time investment, especially if you plan on continuing to progress your account for future methods, such as Rune Dragons or Brutal Black Dragons, both of which have been previously featured in an episode of Alt Account Options, so if you haven't seen that video, go ahead and give that one a watch with the link on screen now. Just like with the Vyrewatch method, let me know down in the comments if you decide to go with the Wyvern Alt Account option and why. That's going to wrap it up for today's episode of Alt Account Options. I hope you all enjoyed, as I did put a fair amount of time into making this video. Now don't forget to enter the giveaway by subscribing, liking, and commenting your RSN down below. And as always, thank you to everybody who takes the time out of their day to watch and interact with one of my videos. It does greatly help me reach new people every single day. This is Regional Manager, and I will see you in the next episode.